Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. What's up, y'all? It's Steve, aka Twisted Trooper, the Headhunter, coming to you live from my house to your house. Live from New York City, the Mecca of paintball. So, we got a pretty good show for you today. It's a special show, based on what was going on in the vibe of the community. It's got a lot to do with our Magfed instructor. So without further ado, allow me to introduce you to the panel tonight. We have Ed from Ice 9LZ, and we also another individual that shall have no name, Billy. I need air.
Billy.
What's up, Billy? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. You know, I'm just here to talk shit just like everyone else, man. Get to it.
Well, the buzz around the community is this Magfed instructor. Without giving names, why don't you speak your mind?
Just keep in mind before we start, let's keep this as professional as we can and as civil.
And we also
we have our opinions, and that's great, but we're not here to try to start how can I say, cause any issues for any of us in the future, especially in the paintball field.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna just start off with I'm here for the all types of conversation. It doesn't matter what we here to conversate about. I'm here to talk about the Magfed community as it is, even though this is one of the topics that we're about to have the conversation with. I'm just saying, regardless of the situation, I'm just here for the fun of it, man. Let's get to it. So,
all right. Well,
everyone that's listening right now, love and support goes to all my Magfed brothers and sisters, and let's get to it now. Let's come on.
Well,
so, starting number one.
I'm going to a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to start off. A couple of weeks ago, I put out a video because it came to my attention that at an event in New Jersey that my team and myself attended, there was an incident where somebody was using rubber balls. So a couple of weeks ago, I thought this was quashed. Obviously, it wasn't. It came back up, and so I wanted to address it, put the thing, try to see if we could put this matter to bed. Part of what Magfed is about is supporting one another, one another to elevate the sport.
And to piggyback off that, support is free. Just know that, everybody. Support is free.
But there are individuals in the community that wants to, for lack of a better word, monopolize on the generosity of the community. It's very hard for me to try and not say specifics, but nobody's stupid. Everybody knows the real deal. But we went to a lot of these events, in support, and I say that for myself, and I speak for my team. We did this out of support, and later on down the road, that support turned, and at some point became personal on the field. Rubber balls were shot at us. Rumors were that we were shooting at each other, which makes no sense. But
one question, my fault. People are trying to join in on my end, and they don't know where to listen in from.
We're streaming live right now on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Discord.
So do they go to your page, or do they go?
They can go to, if they want to go on Facebook, they go to my page on Facebook Live. If they want to go to Generation Magfed on YouTube, and the same with Discord and Twitch.
I'll let them know right now.
So yeah, in reference to what went on, it happened. The we addressed it, and that was the end of it. It resurfaced sometime later, and I addressed it myself personally as co-captain of my team, which, at the time I addressed it, I was co-captain. I am no longer co-captain. I'm back at my advisor position. Jason is now the co-captain, which is fine because it gives me the opportunity to focus on the UMFL and the podcast. So it works out well. But at the time I put on that statement, I was co-captain, and it's just enough is enough. Enough is enough. The way it rocks is if my team is accused of this, it falls on the captain and the co-captain. It's the captain of the ship.
Anything that goes wrong in any team, the co-captains and the captains are the one that look bad.
So when it came to light, I addressed it immediately. The person who, myself included, I had some bruises on my body that I was like, where the hell? Oh, I've gotten shot with first strikes. No bruise that lasts 5 to 6 weeks. None. So with that being said, I wanted to just address my aspect, my point of view with regards to what's going on. The Magfed instructor has been put out there on Facebook colorfully. That's basically where we stand in New York Savage Peace and myself. I'm sure that you guys have other issues that, other things that you want to talk about. And, if you go on Facebook, you hit the messenger, you comment, you can click the comments there. You can click the comments on the YouTube for chatting. Discord as well. We'll answer your chats. I'm logging in. I'm monitoring now the Facebook and the Discord. So you guys log in and you guys ask questions by all means. You can ask away. Billy or Billy and Ed, what do you guys have? Anything that you guys want to input on this?
Well, for the rubber bullet situation, I want to say that's kind of fucked up. It's bad enough that we get people that put up their velocity high. Everybody try to play fair. There have been countless times where, again, we're not pointing names and fingers at nobody, but we played with a few people that you get shot and you be like, yo, goddamn, like, what is this? Like, I know this ain't the first strike, because the first strike, when it hit, it hurt, but it doesn't hurt that bad to the point where you be like, fuck. You feel me? Like, and there was an event that we went to also in Jersey. It was also in Cousins Paint, where we had a night game event. The one thing I didn't like about the whole situation is when I was getting yelled at to turn off my laser and my flashlight while my opponent is running around with night vision goggles.
Yeah, there were some things with that as well.
Yeah, I think your team was also there too, Steve.
Yeah, my team was there. We were told not to use our lasers or flashlights. I got. You know what? I'm that whole scenario, that whole event. It left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I think that's why this keeps resurfacing, is because no one's really had the opportunity to speak about it or speak about it in public. So, we were there at the event, and the event rules kept changing during the event. Like, okay, you were supposed to start here. No, you got to start over here. No, you got to go over here. No, turn this off. No, turn that off. No, do this. So the rules kept changing. And then, with the amount of people that went to support, there shouldn't have been that issue. But, needless to say, there were people who were ultimately shot. Rules changed and things transpired that shouldn't have happened.
So we had a question on the comments that stated, how come someone got away with doing, what was it? Shooting the rubber balls and why can't you use flashlight in the night event? So like what they were stating, so to answer your question, I don't know if you heard them talking throughout the game, the person that everyone's getting upset about had a tendency of changing things around in benefit of individuals that he felt deserved to win or like would benefit a side. Let's just say that. And if it benefit them, he would make it happen. Oh, you can't use flashlights. Oh, you can't do this. So when you do events at a field, uh, the owners are trusting that you are going to do right by everyone, not just yourselves. And everyone's going to have fun. Now, when that doesn't happen, these type of situations occur. And now people are upset about it. And that's what gives people a bad taste in their mouths. They're not going to want to come back for any event that you run. And unfortunately, this is the situation that has been going on for quite a while now. And I've had my own stories about the games I've went in support. I even went so far and even went more into it and dressed up as Master Chief in benefit of his event. So I'm sure you guys all seen me in my suit and
Listen, I got a picture. You was my profile picture. Me and you was my profile picture for a few months. So listen, I know.
exactly. So I definitely love supporting every person that runs events, and if I can make it better, I always try. Um, did it help? I have no idea, to be honest with you, but it definitely made a lot of people happy to see Master Chief out there and having fun. When I went to get air, a bunch of kids went up and wanted to take pictures. I had no problem with that. I do it for them. And to see as payment getting treated like, you know what, I don't want you to win. You're not going to get this point. You're not going to get that point. I'm not saying that happened to me. I have other stories, but that's what all you guys are stating. Like, you can't do this because you're blinding everybody or whatever the case may be. You can't do that. You can't. They're changing rules as they go. And that's what makes people very upset.
Oh, that
And
was
to state that the referees aren't doing their job, they probably were. And since the person is running the game, they told him and he did nothing, there's really not much they're able to do. Their job is to help the person that's running run the game. That's their job. So they were doing their job. And I can bet you, and in defense and every single ref out there, they were not happy with it themselves.
well. Even if that was the case, a lot of it came into and came into the light the next day. A lot of it. Um, One of the players, Ishmael Chance, was one of them. The rubber ball was still in his vest. When he took off his clothes, they were falling out. Myself and two other teammates got shot. Now I get shot all the time. We play paintball. That's what it is. We get shot. These weren't feeling like they weren't feeling like rubber ball. I mean they weren't feeling like round ball. They weren't feeling like first strike. I even made a comment like, "Oh shit, man, they're shooting hot." The next day it came out, and that was pretty much the end of it, from what I understand. Until flash forward. Now, there are a lot of questions that are coming in, like I guess Matthew is saying, I guess I'm ignorant to this. How does someone get away with shooting that? Do refs not do their jobs? South of New Hampshire. Well, no, the refs do their jobs. The refs do their jobs.
Do me a favor and re-invite me. I'm having issues hearing you.
Are you having issues?
Yeah, a person called me, which interfered, and now I can't really hear you. I'm having really bad issues. So, do you mind inviting me back?
Actually, what you can do is you can disconnect and reconnect to the call. It'll tell you join.
Oh, okay, just give me a second.
Yeah, and then the next question I got was, why can't you use flashlights in a night game? Well,
So for that question, I could basically answer that easily. It's obviously because they was blinding the UAV. They couldn't see at night. They basically we can't see at night. We're using tactical lasers and tactical flashlights. And the reason why I feel like he kept on telling us to turn it off is because I wear night vision goggles before. I already know what happens when a tactical light comes in your goggles. You cannot see nothing, neither for the laser. Actually, the laser mess up the goggles. But
Well,
whose fault is that you want to play with a very expensive toy?
well, that's the other thing, you know. And then I think Isaac brings up the question, the same point. I think Bishop also raised the same point as well. I think Matthew also said the same thing. I'm not sure. Basically, you know, not everybody can afford night vision. Not everybody can avoid, and that's cool. And there has to be some kind of. We all have tack lights on our markers, you know, especially when we play night games. Master Chief has lights on his helmet. Like, we all use, you know. So to say at the last minute, oh no, you can't use this and you can't use that, and then what really pissed me off was, and I should be okay with that, because, you know, he uses, you know, they used the tactical advantage of making the night vision for those who did useless by bombarding us with smoke. Now that's cool. That's cool. But not now. We're running blind because we can't see, so we're just standing still. Or if we run, we're tripping on somebody. We can't see each other because we can't use lights, can't use lasers, we can't use flashlights, nothing. Can't do anything. So we just have to stay there and get shot. Basically, this is what happened. But in this instance, they weren't shooting us. Or they were, maybe, but, you know, explain to me how we got pelted with rubber balls. Explain to me how, you know, the player Ishmael Chance had, you know, Ish had rubber balls and bruises all over his body. Like, bruises that were not compatible with first strike and round ball. We all play. We all know the difference. You know, everybody who was on that side of the field heard the way they were hitting. They were really hitting, and it wasn't like first strike. You know what they sound like. You know what they sound like. So they're really hitting. So I don't think the refs knew, to be honest with you, because if they did, I don't think that they wouldn't even would have allowed it.
Realistically, the field's laws would have to terminate and find the person that's shooting it. Because if they would have known legally and insurance-wise, they have to stop it immediately. It's an automatic ceasefire, because that's life-threatening. Rubber balls can actually physically harm you.
Yeah, these
not just strikes and round balls. The insurance only. I don't really know to the T, but I can sit here and say that I can guarantee you, if they would have known, they would have stopped the game and try to find who's shooting.
I think they would have, because that would have more than likely opened up to a very big liability.
Exactly, and not just that. This is another thing that what I don't like about certain events, that they make it very. Most Cousins events, they always have it fair. If they have one tank, the tank goes on both sides. They have a helicopter, the helicopter goes on both sides. You know what I mean? They make it fair. And to hear, like, you know, they were blinding you, you had no thermal, you had no night vision, and they did, that makes it a completely unfair battle. And just like for us, when we make our events, when I brought in the RC bomb, that was supposed to be for my team, but I didn't want to make it unfair. I allowed everyone the opportunity to get, the mission was to get the blueprint. And if you get the blueprint, you can use the RC at the next mission, right? We made it fair for anyone.
Yeah. You know
what made it really unfair, that had me really upset about the situation? It was not only just last minute. It was more on the mid-game, halfway through the game, when we got to the 50-50, when we met them at the 50-50, that's when we getting yelled at. Like, yo, like, you don't use your lasers, don't use the lasers.
Yeah, I mean, initially, the way it went down was when we were offered the position to be the contractors in the embassy, we were told, this is where you're going to start, this is where you're going to finish for this event. Okay. And to answer your question, Matthew, yes, it was totally dark. the game started, and we were going straight to our spawn location. This is around the time, not too long after when everything happened. And they're like, nope, you got to go to the other side of the field. But you guys said to come over here. Nope, other side of the field. And then while we're going to the other side of the field, you can see the guys from the opposite team advancing towards and taking position at the bunker.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Why is it and then as I'm walking, and I'm not the only one walking, then midway to the spawn, okay, game on. So not everybody was spawned, but game on. We gotta go back to the fort, but they're already in position at the fort. Where's the fairness in that? But okay, no problem, we rocked. Then those of us who had night vision was basically rendered useless because we don't use white phosphorus or thermal. And so they made sure they bombarded. And then immediately after the bombardment came, the pelts came. Now, I want to be clear. I don't, in the very beginning, myself, idolized them. I idolized the whole concept that was going on. The scenario games were awesome. The events were phenomenal. I want to, I idolized them. And myself personally, after that event, I'm not going to say I lost respect for him as a man, because that is a little bit extreme, but I lost respect for him as a player. An honorable player. Because let's be real, when we're on the field, I got to be able to trust you to call your shot. You got to be able to trust me to call the shot you get on me. So, I don't have that with him, and the other thing with him is, he never plays the day game. I think I've only seen him maybe once the whole time.
I only see him during night games. Because when we had him for Black Hawk Down, he only played the night game.
No,
Yeah,
I've seen him play daytimes. I've seen him play a couple daytimes.
Me personally, I've been at least 6 events with him, and I only see him play night games.
look, and that's fine, listen, there's no rule that says we got to come out and play only a day, and there's no rule that says we got to come out and only play night. But if you're gonna come to an event, or you're gonna host an event, rather, don't change the rules mid-game. Don't go to other people's pages and work the back phones. And we had before we had the UMFL, we were going to do what they call a call out on a different league. We were calling them out friendly, but it was told, it came back to us and it said it was unsportsmanlike. So the manner in which it came out is unsportsmanlike, so we withdrew it.
It wasn't the fact of, this is where I'm going to have to draw the line. It's not the fact of that the call out happened. It's the fact of how far people went in the comments in the disrespect. We all understand that we want to have a call out. You want to call out, that's fine. But there's a way to go around it. Like we stated before in other chats, you would message the person that you were calling out. You guys come to a conclusion that you're gonna do it. You guys know you're gonna talk crap about each other, and then that is that. At least any games that I've had to general, that's how it was handled. So no one would get butthurt, no one got offended, nothing. And some people do. Some people can't take insults and take it as just motivation to get you on the field.
Well, but yeah, I agree. I agree. And when the call out was going out and it was brought to my attention, okay, no problem, delete it, no problem. Because I know that I may have myself said something that might have been inappropriate. I know that there were definitely inappropriate comments. So I understand, and no problem. We withdrew it, and that was that. At least I thought that was it, but obviously it's not. So what as the comments are coming in, let's see. Jason says because he can only play when he has the advantage, he doesn't know how to really play. 13 hours. I got the dome shot. It was daylight after he was calling out our positions. That was another thing that, this, and I have personally, I've seen it myself. I've experienced it myself, where, you guys might want to go over there, or you guys might want to go over there, or guys hold over here, so I've seen it myself. I've experienced it myself. He does call out positions of people, and I'm not saying that that's right, but I'm not saying that that's wrong either. That's in the spirit of the game, but at the same time, the wrong, actually, it is kind of wrong because dead men don't talk. So it's like if I shot Billy and Billy got off the field, or I shot Ed and Ed was walking out the field and told Billy where I'm shooting from, then yeah, that would be a problem. So no, I understand. I understand. I do.
Talking about that, how do you feel? Right, this is an off-topic question. I'm not trying to take us off the topic, but it's just a random question, right? How do you feel about a player telling another player that I just died and got off the field? Not telling him where he got killed from, but at least letting his players know that I'm dead, so they can no longer rely on him.
That's fine. That's the same. That's the same as putting your hands up and saying hit. It's the same.
That is the sign. You get your hands up and you walk away off the field.
Huh?
Like I usually say, dead man don't talk. The minute I get shot, I don't talk. I try to, and someone said, where'd you get shot? Where'd you get shot? The most you're going to get out of me is say, open your eyes. Like, that's the most you're getting out of me. Like, open your eyes.
The most, I remember one time I got into a situation, I'm not going to say the player's name, but I remember one time I got killed, and they kept on radioing for me. Like, yo, Billy, 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 Billy. And I'm just like, on the radio, I finally gave in. I'm like, yo, Billy's dead. I'm dead. And I turned off my walkie, and then that's when the situation started. Like, yo, dead men don't talk. And I'm like, but what the fuck did I really say to actually fuck up the game? All I was letting you know that I'm dead.
Realistically, you were getting called down on your radio and you responded stating you were dead. You didn't tell them where you were, where you get shot. That's perfectly fine. I'm talking about while you're walking out, you're telling your teammates, I'm dead, I'm dead. Dead man don't talk. That's a different story. You were getting radioed. You were just saying, look, I'm dead, and that's it, and you left it alone. That's a different story. But if you were walking off the field yelling out, I'm dead, that's why you have your hands up. That should signify to everybody you're dead. You know what I mean?
Now, sometimes you got to do that because there be people still trying to shoot you with your hands up.
Most of the times, those are people that are dead. You gotta give them some credit, all right? There are people that don't know what they're doing. They don't know signals that we do, and you do end up getting shot. There's been hundreds of times that I've gotten lit up by kids or adults that are new, and I don't get offended, and I say, look, I'm dead. You're good. And they stop. So, like, it does happen. Unfortunately, it does. And it sucks when it's a new person with a nice gun that shoots first strike, because then it hurts 10 times fold. But it's all right. As a player that we played for years to decades, we know we're going to walk in the field and possibly get into that situations, amongst other things. The number one thing that I try to do out in the field is to make sure that anybody, including the opposite players, have fun, because I want you guys to come back. Not just to my events, just to paintball, because I don't want paintball to die. Well, so if I make sure you have a fun time out there, even if it makes me look like a fool, or I make a funny dance that made you laugh and call me an idiot, I don't care. As long as you enjoyed it and you have something to come back and look forward to.
Well, listen,
right? Because that's my goal as a player.
Oh, hold that thought one there. In reference to what you said about paintball dying, I don't think paintball is ever going to die. Magfed isn't going to die either. It's just right now, in my eyes, this is me, and if I'm wrong, tell me. But right now, there's very limited unity with regards to the community. We're all, doing our own thing basically, and that's cool. But the one thing that I could see that we're all in agreement with is the Magfed instructor. We're all in agreement with them. I've been told this has been coming down the pipeline for years. Before we even came onto the scene, this has been going on.
With the good job they've been doing so far themselves too. You gotta think about it like that. Cause there's some people out there that stay talking mad shit about us, and like how when we go out to a certain event, you always hear the speedballers or the rentals, all those little fucking Magfed guys, the niggas that try hard. You gotta pay attention to certain shit too. Like everybody has a different opinion. You can't just go off what the one person is telling you. This is why, like, what he's saying, like, there's a possibility that Magfed could end up dying out. And that's why you got to keep pushing it and keep trying to keep it as a positive mindset and stop with all the negative that other people's bringing around us. That's why you always got to stay positive.
That's what I'm trying to point. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like the name of the game
the situation like right now, like you see how everyone has bad feedback about 13 hours. Now that right there is gonna discourage people to do certain things. Like right now, I wanted to host the event. I still want to host the event, but I'm so discouraged because I already know bad feedbacks on certain events, which I feel like I might get bad feedback for my first event that I might host.
Well,
when it comes to situations like that,
I got two comments here that just came in. I got one is Matthew Shin saying that he loved to play against Electros, open class. Need to be played more to get more people to try Magfed. Jordan Sloan, is this a live show or a rag on someone, bro? Don't go to his games. I love his games. Jordan, it's not about not going to his games or going to his games. I mean, I idolized him for me personally. I'm talking about me personally. I idolized him. I still have respect for him as a man. The way things happen at one of his events, if your team shot rubber balls, this would be a totally different story. If my team shot rubber balls, it would be a totally different story. That's not the case. If any one of us shot rubber balls, it wouldn't be the story. We thought that was dead. Obviously, it came up, so we're putting out this podcast today to try and put this to rest, and give everybody the opportunity to speak about it, so that we can move on. As far as going to his games, I personally, as my choice, I'm not going to not one of his games. No love lost, no disrespect, no nothing. I just don't feel that giving my money that I work hard for to go and get accused of shooting rubber balls at my own team and get hurt with rubber balls where I can do it for free at home. I can get drunk and get stupid and do it for free at home. Any one of us can. So we don't have to pay money to do it.
Wait, hold on. But this is what, like, to reference on that comment, this is why I stated once and I'll state it again. This shouldn't continue. Let's end this today with this right now, because only actions will show, and that's all we need to do. Everyone that enjoys everything, sooner or later, the true colors will always appear. Yeah. You can hide all you want. You can say whatever you want. To me, words mean nothing. It's the actions that will speak in your behalf. And just let it be. Because, like it or not, we've all stated, and anybody's been playing for quite a while stated it too, and I've heard it for hundreds of people myself, there was always an issue. And then slowly but surely, people started dropping. I, again, will state, I have my stories, but nothing as drastic as what you guys went through. I was not there. I was not involved. That didn't happen to me. I have my own stories that I've went through with this individual. But the thing is that to me, it is what it is type motion, because I don't like starting anything in a place that I love to go to. So I'd rather let you do you. I just not get involved with you. It is what it is.
No, you're absolutely right.
And
I
to
agree.
cut you off that, like I'm still me personally. Steve said he's not going. That's cool. I'm still going, not only because I paid for it already, but only due to the fact that regardless of the situation, it allows you to continue to branch off of what he's having to branch off with other people. Now you get to meet people who just starting. It could possibility that new person you just met that just started can end up joining your team and benefiting your team in the long run. And not even that, you could create allies over time because we have the Magfed society that also people just play outlaw events. So the more people, the better. And I'm just going to keep trying to build my name up because so far I don't feel like my name is that far. I feel like a lot of people know me, but not as much. Me personally, I'm trying to take this paintball and I'm trying to go as far as possible with it. Back in the day, I remember I used to see speedball on TV. My goal is to try to get Magfed on TV.
That's literally my goal too. So, welcome to the club.
I mean, that's where we're going. That's where we're trying to go.
See,
Um,
we want to make MagFed as big as Speedball, and that's the point of our branch that we're trying to grow. We want to make everyone realize that we want what you want, a field to have fun in and not get screwed over. Will it happen? I cannot say. I am not a fortune teller. I will never be that. But I can promise you one thing, that if you work with us, we always try to do better. We will always try to do better. You give us a shot, go to our events, we go to other people's events. This doesn't mean it's a one way. No, we want everyone to grow. We're not trying to step on toes. We changed dates to make sure we didn't step on anybody's toes.
Felt that, and I can actually vouch that the New York Savages definitely does that too. I seen y'all at Bone and Ashes in North Carolina. Y'all raised hell out there. But yo, Steve, I got you, Steve.
yeah, well, I you and Mister over there, we got something. I got something for you guys. Don't worry.
Don't worry, me and Rocky, we just waiting for you, brother. Just come out.
No, you and Mister. Don't worry. I call him Mister. Um, to answer your question, Danny, yes. They were recovered. Danny Flores asked if the round balls were. If we found the round balls that were shot, yes. Ishmael Chance has them all. The ones that hit him.
What color was they?
They were black. They were a picture of them. He had a picture of them. They were black. They were black.
Oh.
Now,
I remember one time we was playing at Area 53 in the Bronx before it closed down and stuff. Because I don't know if anybody knows about it, but Area 53 in the Bronx has officially closed down for further notices. But I remember one time I found two red first strikes, the rubber red first strikes. I found a few yellow rubber balls. Those are the soft ones, but it is what it is. But I definitely found a few black rubber balls too.
yeah, you know.
And it's crazy that people actually come out here. Like, technically, that's an assault. Putting your velocity high.
It's assault. It's assault in the third. It's assault in the third degree when you utilize a paintball marker and you use non-lethal rounds. You're basically, in essence, committing assault in the third degree. Jordan told me.
More of the second because you attempted.
No, because you actually. You actually did it. You actually did it. You actually did it.
All right, cool.
Attempted would be a second and first.
All right.
Jordan said he's coming after you. He owes you one from Dark Ops. Kind of like I owe these guys here for Bones and Ashes. I'm sorry, who?
Who said that?
Jordan said he's coming after Ed. He owes Ed. And I said, it's kind of like what I owe you from Bones and Ashes. Steve, I see you. And you distracting me, and I get poop poop and a rocket. Steve, you're out. Don't worry, I got you.
The most fun part about that whole event is how me and Rocket had the same radio, and I didn't have the same radio as the Assassins. So me and Rocket ended up linking the radios. And turns to find out the channel we decided to use was the same channel Steve and his guys decided to use.
Yeah, well, we ain't gonna go there. Yeah, we're not gonna go there. Yeah, they were eavesdropping, but that's anyway.
I'm sure they were.
Chris Folk commenting saying they weren't reball, they were less lethal home defense balls. A lot of people are just chiming in, man. A lot of people are chiming in.
That's the point. This is the point we're having this.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly why. Because this wasn't my intention today to have a podcast. I was gonna come home after a day of work, take a shower, drink a beer, play some Call of Duty, and call it a day. Sit in front of the air conditioner.
You gotta get on that Fortnite, man. Stop playing Call of Duty, man.
Nah, Fortnite, nah.
No one has me. I see.
But this morning I look on the Facebook and I see the Magfed instructor. Now I didn't have to open it up, and I already knew who they were referring to.
I mean, they made it pretty obvious with one of the comments.
The meme.
Listen.
The only thing I will state, hold on, let me say this. The only thing I will say is the fact that it keeps going on to this point. If you don't like a certain person in the field, just don't go to their events. It's as simple as that.
Simple.
If you trying to down talk them, trying to disrespect them, it's not making them look bad. It's making you look bad. And no one should want to look bad.
Wait, you're forgetting not only do you deal with it, but you don't pick up the telephone and go behind lines. You come. I got a problem with you, Ed. I'm gonna come to you, Ed. Ed, this is A, B, and C. You got a problem with me, you're gonna tell me, hey, Steve, this is A, B, and C. I'm not gonna pick up the phone and call Billy and say, Billy, tell Ed this is A, B, and C. You know what I mean?
You're not getting the point, though. Yeah, that you shouldn't be doing that. But the thing is, if you had a problem, if you wanted to, say, excuse me, you called him out, you should have messaged him yourself privately and dealt with it, and then called out. You see what I'm saying? It might have been a different outcome if you would have done it that way. But is that the case? I don't know. To the fact that the individual went backwards and started complaining, I don't know that. And I wasn't there, nor did I get a message stating that he did. We have no proof to say that's what he did. But what we will say,
I'm speaking.
Happened, but it doesn't make it right to handle it in a very wrong way.
I'm not speaking with regards to this matter. I'm speaking with regards in general, which has happened, because I actually do have the proof. Myself personally. He got a little mad that I was posting when I did the Black Hawk Down, and I kept posting. And you got a problem with what I'm doing, you come to me, right? Goes to the captain, tells him, hey, listen, what do you want me to do? He's marketing. He's promoting. So it's just little things like.
What I do learn lately about Magfed, a lot of people like to talk shit about other people's marketing skills. They like to also downplay your marketing skills, because the less you get if you keep marketing yourself off, yeah, that's good for you, because more people are gonna start seeing what you're doing. But you got to think about it like this too. I'm not saying what you're doing is bad or anything, but there's times where people actually see you marketing and then start downplaying you and talking shit about you to other people, and that fucks up your marketing skills now, because now people don't want to look at what you're doing because he's talking shit.
And that is what I was saying earlier, that we as a community are divided. Instead of elevating,
divided, we one thing I learned is we all base ourselves on politics. We all got our own little shit going on, and we are a community, and regardless of the situation, even outside of paintball, we all still brothers and sisters regardless of the situation. Just because we wasn't born from the same mom or dad doesn't mean nothing. We all still a family. That's what everyone keeps failing to realize. You feel me? Regardless of the situation, we all family. We should not be treating each other the same way we treat people we don't fuck with. And that's what everyone keeps doing. They keep trying to treat people like people we don't fuck with them, and then y'all be in each other's face, two facing. That's trash. Like that's mad garbage. Like why are you gonna sit here and talk shit about me, and then when you see me, you want to give me a 5? Like don't fucking do that.
I'm
And
I'm listening. I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm also reading the comments, so I do apologize that I'm not constantly looking.
Don't worry about it, man. I know what you're doing. But it's like what's more crazy is like I didn't see like me personally. I'm not the type of person that won't you chando my nigga. I don't sit here and tell you what I heard the next person say about you because that's none of my business. If he has something to do with you, that's with you, not with me. And even if he feel like he needs to talk to me about it, by all means, you can, talk to me about it. You feel me? Vent to me if you really want to, but don't sit here and expect me to sit here and go around telling everybody what you just told me, because that's what everyone has been doing lately. Everyone keeps doing that, and that's what is dividing us.
Listen, that's high school drama. High school drama, simple as that.
Basically,
and that's where I'm standing, and I'm saying to this day, 2 wrongs don't make a right. That's why I'm literally trying to explain. Like this is not high school. We're all adults. Some of us are old enough to beat grandpa. You know what I mean? And it's
we actually got a grandpa on our team, but
Shit, all that gray hair, Steve. I thought you was a grandfather.
No, bro. This all this gray hair is stress, bro. Stress. This is planning a wedding, bro. This is trying to get married. This is life.
What we all signed up for eventually.
We got an interesting comment here. Jonathan Shields. One thing I gotta say that bothers me about the way some things were handled on Herc's end was that there was a clear envy, jealousy for anyone that he perceived to be surpassing him, his promotion, and his team. Your place, your growth within the hobby should not depend on... Hold on one second. Let me just grab this. Should not depend on some concept of culling others' success. I know what Jonathan is saying. The fact that he was changing the rules around so many times during the game, saw that. I mean, I don't.
It was a move. It was a sore loser move.
It was a sore loser. I was just trying to find the right way to say it.
It's, to be honest, but then again, like, what can you expect? You have someone with a high title. Everyone respects him for who he was, and someone came to his event and showed out. And in his defense, it was, I'm gonna have to do this just so I don't be showed out at my own event.
Well, that was the other thing. That was the other thing. Is like when all this came out, the one thing that I still say to this day is, and I said it in the beginning, captain and co-captains are responsible for the team. So him being a captain should have stepped up and said, hold on, and get to the bottom of it. And us, being the opposing teams, we would have gotten myself, Ghost, or any other captain from any other team that was assigned to that team, and we would have gotten to the bottom of it. Instead, what had happened was unfriended, blocked, and ignored. So you unfriended, you blocked, and ignored for what purpose? To not be bothered by it because it's not important enough for you to address the issue? Or is it that you're going to think that at some point it's going to die out? And as far as I thought it was going to die out myself. I thought that after, Ish told me what he said, he showed me the pictures, he vented what he had to vent, I thought that would have been it. Unbeknownst to me, it wasn't. So what I want to say is, like I said in the video, my team had nothing to do with any of that whatsoever. We supported his events. We supported him. Even if we didn't think it would be worth going to, we still went out. We didn't have to go to the shoot house in Randolph, New Jersey. We didn't have to go and participate in any of his events, but we did willingly, and we had fun doing it. However, and this is a big however, had we known that it was going to be, well, I'm going to throw your team under the bus to save my face, I don't think we would have ever stood by him as far as it went. So that's just me. Looks like we're not getting. That's Joker. He said that's like what? That's like two different locations. Oh, he's talking about something else. I apologize. What if? Oh, Jordan. What if my perception is wrong? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Jordan. I'm one person to admit when I'm wrong. I'll be the first one to tell you, you prove me wrong. I'm wrong. I have no problem in telling you, hey, I was wrong. I got no problem in telling you, my bad. I got no problem in telling you, coming and giving you my hand and saying, I'm sorry. I have no problem in that. I have a problem when you're wrong, and not you. I'm just saying this is just, as an example between you and I. When you're wrong and you're going to make somebody else take the blame, and out of all things, use a stupid excuse. We were shooting each other. We could do that for free. Let's be real. I have a big backyard. A lot of my teammates have big backyards. I can go to Ed's house. Ed, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. You mind if I come over? We can go in the backyard and shoot? Yeah, sure, no problem. I could do that for free.
We're gonna have major problems.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say rubber balls, but I'm just saying, in general, I don't have to waste my time and money and gas to drive 2 hours to a field. Oh, and then what really is the most interesting aspect of it is that, and there were some people who believed it until we had to point it out. And then they're like, oh shit, I didn't think about that, is that my team is also sponsored by Cousins. So why would we do something that's going to jeopardize our sponsorship with our home field? That's going to jeopardize our sponsorship and possibly get us banned. Now, that may be the issue why Herc said what he said, or the rumor started. Out of fear. But to be honest with you, I'm one that if I messed up and, I'm going to catch a licking, all right, fine. Let me catch it. I'd rather catch it and deal with it and move on.
One thing I didn't get is how can you feel threatened by something, right? Like, for example, how can you feel threatened about something when the person who owns the field, to my knowledge, is your cousin? Your sponsorship will forever be there unless you and your cousin have bad blood outside the family.
I'm not sure what you mean.
So basically, he's jeopardizing, from what I was told from other people and everybody around us, is he jeopardized your sponsorship with Cousins, right?
Well, no, I'm saying the rumor was afterwards that our team was shooting each other.
Yes, which was going to cause you
to lose. Right. If that had been the case, obviously any field would say, you're done.
If he was doing that out of jealousy, I don't understand how can you really sit here and think that you guys are threatening his sponsorship when the person who owns the field is supposed to be like your cousin or some shit like that, because that's what I was told, that the people who run Cousins is his cousin.
About that, I think I know what you're trying to say, but let me put it this way. Even if that's the case, and again, I really I'm gonna put this without being rude. What happened in that night, in that scenario, I don't think it had anything to do with family relations at all. Again, there was no. It's like what the gentleman stated in the comments. There is no way to prove who actually shot the rubber balls. there's no way. There's if there was evidence to prove that it was him, or prove it was someone else,
That would have been
there
out
would
by
have
now.
Yeah, you're kind of right because technically on his team, he had a few other teams on his team because it wasn't just the Undertakers. It was also Liberty Warlords on that team, so you don't even know.
exactly. So
Right.
there's really no proof to see who shot what. All is we're getting right now is he said, she says, two sides of the story. And what doesn't make sense is one side of the story. Players shooting other teammates knowingly and then apparently shooting themselves. That is a pretty stupid, excuse my language, it's a stupid way to state it or try to point a finger. No one should have been pointing fingers. The ones that could be pointing are the ones that got shot. Obviously, they're the ones that are going to sit there and say it was the opposite team. You know what I mean? And then they get defensive, like it wasn't us, it was you guys. You guys shooting yourselves. I can totally see that happening. But the thing is that no one knows who shot what. And this is what I keep trying to say. You had you had a bad situation at an event. You really believe it's someone, but you have no evidence. Until I see videos, you have no
Zero.
evidence. So because of that, no one should be saying it's a certain person or individual or team. No one. All you can say it was the opposite team because you were the ones getting shot.
Oh,
Get what I'm saying? The ones that suffered, the victims,
oh,
got
that's
hit.
that's what I've been saying. The opposing team.
You can't be pointing at a certain individual or team stating it was them. You could say it was the opposite team because obviously you were in the opposite side of the field and you were getting shot at that side of the field. You know what I mean? You were getting
Yeah.
shot at the field, that the front end of where you were going, which means it was the enemy team. But you can't say it was this person, it was this team, or it was just that. It could have been a
I,
stranger that snuck in and decided to have fun with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, there's no proof. This is where everything went sour when everyone started pointing fingers. This person did that, this person did it, this person did it. And that's where everything ended where it is now. The only thing that made it worse is the past experience with this certain individual. What makes you guys believe it was the case? You understand what I'm saying? You have other reasons to believe that it was this individual or this team because this happened at this field, this happened at that field. You know what I mean? That you're making your case onto why you believe the way you believe. Now, I ain't no lawyer, never will be, probably can't even come close to becoming one. But I can sit here and say that what needs to stop is the pointing fingers. What needs to stop is this whole scenario needs to be let go.
The aggression of this whole situation needs to stop. Generally, to be honest, what we should all do is start talking about how can we better ourselves to progress, to build up. See past this situation, look at it as a failed situation because that's what it was. It was a failed situation, no matter what it was. And now we got to see as a unit because that's what we all are as a Magfed. Doesn't matter what team you play for. We all Magfed. We all one unit. We need to figure out what we're gonna have to do to strategize better to make Magfed better for everyone else. That's what we should really do.
oh,
Exactly.
I try to remain in the middle.
But you remaining in the middle is playing bias. When you play bias, you end up getting a lot of feedback, and you also get a lot of bad feedback. You can't remain biased in the situation. You have to give your full opinion, so everyone else could give you their full opinion, so no one else could be biased about the situation.
That's the thing. It's hard to give your full opinion, and the reason why I'm going to tell you is because you have a lot of ego. You have a lot of machismo, bravado, you know? So for someone to come out and give their opinion, could be taken a wrong way. For someone to express their opinion can also be taken a wrong way.
But then that's gonna cause someone else not to be biased and actually give you their full opinion. That's what we need to start listening to everyone's full opinion and not the contradicted situations that they trying to give by hearing other shit from other people.
I get what you're both trying to say, and I must agree on a certain level with both you guys. When it comes to Steve stating that you really can't, you're right. There's always that one individual who's going to take every word you say to the heart,
Personally, yeah,
and
Huh?
it is what it is. But what you also have to remember when you are doing events, and you yourself, Billy, want to make events in the future, you have to be careful on how you present yourself, because nobody wants to come out with to a field that they feel threatened or feel like you're not fit to run a team or game. You show yourself as an individual that doesn't want conflict. And I know I can speak to a lot of, I hope I can speak to a lot of players. Most players that go to these games don't want conflict. We just want to play the game, have fun, shoot each other, and go home.
well, I want to come home with a trophy. Fuck that. I'm trying to come home to all the
Well,
trophies.
whichever way you want to add or minus what I'm stating, but you do go to play and shoot. That's
I
my
go
main.
have fun and try to win.
Exactly. So if you want to add the win in there, that's fine. Me, I don't really care about winning. I just love the sport and go out and play. Of course, I'm going to try to win. Don't get me wrong. I play missions. You guys see me on the field. I scream bloody hell in the field. You will hear me. But if we don't win, I still have fun. You know what I mean? I still have a blast.
We got a comment, Mike Fields. This team sometimes have one bad egg, but don't put that person check. I think he's trying to say that all teams have that one or two bad person, but we don't put them in check. I guess that's what he's saying. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, on a 50-50 level though, because it's like some people definition of a bad person or a bad player is someone else's definition of a great player. So like there's been situations where I done heard my name being brought up, like, oh, Billy knocked down bunkers just to get a kill. Like, are you getting upset because I'm trying to do my best to win a game? Like I physically like, and if you played with me at Area 53, I know y'all see me knock down bunkers. Actually, the in DMV when I went against you guys, the Savages, I was using the little blue wheelbarrows and I'm pushing it up while I'm falling on the floor. And there's other people. I'm not saying you guys. I'm saying other people in general. I don't heard bad feedbacks about it. Like, oh, Billy does this, Billy does that. That's so fucked up because now you're fucking it up for everybody else. I don't understand how I'm messing it up for you because I'm moving myself in a situation where I can win this game. Because regardless of the situation, everyone plays to win, regardless of the situation. Yes, you're having fun, but I know for a fact you're not coming here just to fucking lose. You're trying to play. Even if you lose, you're trying to play and you're trying to win and you're trying to have fun.
Exactly. Listen, like I said, you're always going to have that one person that's going to get offended on what you say or do. You're always going to get that person, and no matter what situation. And I'll state it again, it's going to happen. But the thing is that as long as if you did it in intent to win a game and you didn't go too far, like let's say for instance, I've seen players go out of their way and cut right in the middle of the field, act like they were dead. They didn't even go to spawn, but they'll spawn right in the middle of the battle just to get into the thing.
You're bringing back memories of 13 hours right there.
But you see my point, though.
That's something they
You
did.
see my point, though, right? That's not okay. You know what I mean? As long as you're just okay, you brought a barrel, you rolled down, you didn't do anything that would be considered wrong. You might have upset some players. Look, I've upset players when I was at CT6 and I wore the Master Chief outfit. Guy was bringing well, I believe it was, so we're trying to rescue. It was a rescue mission, and the guy was bringing the guy to me, but he shot me out. But he did not know that there was a spawn right in the corner. So I was like, okay, I walked out, went straight to the spawn. I turned around and shot him. The gentleman got very upset. What the fuck? You can't do that, this, that. And he didn't get to my face. He didn't like start a fight. Don't get me wrong. He was just, you can clearly see he was upset. You're gonna get people upset. That's gonna happen. But as long as you follow the rules, you did nothing wrong.
But right there for that situation, that was just miscommunication because it was not his fault that he didn't know your respawn was right there. To be honest, if there's anybody else's fault, it was his team's fault, and the person who's running the event that didn't explain it well enough to let them know, like, yo, their respawn is right here. Because for DMV, when we was in DMV, when we as soon as we reached the respawn point where there was the enemy's respawn, the ref let us know, like, yo, letting you guys know they respawn is about 50 yards ahead. I'm only gonna allow you guys to move 10 more yards.
We got a clarification for you, Ed. Mike Fields, clarifying. He says, "I don't mean bad player in regards to that. I mean if I'm the case, someone on your team. Okay, in case someone on your team is shooting rubber rounds, etc. At least on my team, if we bring somebody, whether they're looking to play with us or they're currently do." We find out they're violating on the field, then we handling that off the field, whether they are leadership or not.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I expect you to do that because that is so, like, you got to think about it. That's so fucked up. It's written on the markers itself. This is not a toy. This can either lead someone up to seriously injured or even death. It's stated on the marker. I don't understand why people really come here and really think that this is just a game. It's not just a game. This can actually affect someone in real life.
Yeah, there's many cases where people shoot hot, and I've seen them crack mask, no problems. It is not something to toy with. There's a reason why there's rules and regulations is to make sure that you go same way you came.
That actually happened at Black Hawk Down. You came to me.
I would say that right now.
You came.
Mask broke.
You came to me on one instance. Another one instance, first strike hit the mask.
And it went through it. It was like halfway in the match, right here on the jawline. I was right there. I was right there when he got shot, and he was the enemy. We was about to bunker each other, and someone on the other side, and I can't say who it was, if it was my team or not, because there was 4 teams in Black Hawk Down. We don't know who's who. All I remember was he was on one side of the wall, I was on the next, and all I heard was, yo, what the fuck? I went to go turn, and I see there's a first strike sticking right in his mask. And then that's when I was like, oh, hold up. Like, in my area, we kind of paused the game at that moment, and we try to figure out who was it that was shooting hot, because we all know first strikes are not going through a mask like that.
I mean, unless it's some weak, very cheap Chinese-made mask.
He had a push mask.
He had a push mask.
Yeah. No, I'm just stating that I've seen it happen with very cheap masks.
Yeah, I mean, we all seen it. We all know. Listen, I was a ref for Area 53. I done seen people come with the mask they bought from Amazon for $25.
Yeah.
I've seen what happens. If you go to Jersey to New Breed Paintball, the owner of the New Breed Paintball, he has a missing eye. Not technically missing, but he has a dead eye. And when I asked him, like, what happened, he said it was a airsoft incident of a cheap mask. And when I remember like 3-4 weeks ago, I brought my boy because he's starting to get into it, and mask, and the owner himself was like, yo, I'm not trying to bullshit you, I'm not trying to sell you the most expensive mask. I don't care if you buy my $50 mask. Just don't buy that dumb shit you're talking about, because you can actually lose something. You can lose a tooth, you can lose an eye.
Yep.
I've seen players lose teeth, eyes, get scarred pretty badly. I remember with my first time playing paintball, I went to High Velocity, and it was for a birthday, and the gentleman decided to lift his mask after he was shot in the middle of a game, and he got a nice little 1-2 in the cheek, and his whole side got swollen. And mind you, these were all rentals. We were all kids. I was like maybe 6 or 7 years old at the time, and he didn't cry, actually, even though he was a child. We were children. We were all kids. He didn't cry. Well, he took it like a champ. But the very next day in school, we were at the same bus stop, You, Jesus, it was bad. It was pretty bad.
So for
Always,
everyone who's listening, please keep your mask on in the field.
yes.
I'm speaking also from experience. I got lucky. I remember one time I'm on the field. I have my mask off. The game didn't start yet. I'm waiting for the game to start. And one of the rentals, which the reason why I ain't do what I wanted to do because he's a rental. He don't know better. You feel me? He thought the game just automatically starts when he got there. He came as I was talking, shoot, I turned, I looked at him, he shot, and all I saw was a bullet come straight, hit me on the forehead. And then once he noticed my mask was off and everyone on my side was ready to fuck this guy up. If it wasn't for me telling everyone like, yo, chill, I think it'd have been bad. So yes, everyone listening, please keep your mask on while you're on the field at all times.
Not just that. Mask on. Don't raise up your velocity. There's a reason why it's there. Okay. We do not. I definitely will. When we run games, I will check that. And if I catch you running hot, and I'm talking like extremely hot, I've caught people shooting extremely hot. I will not ask you to walk out the feed and fix it. I will ask you to leave because you're risking lives. You're risking
Check your
other
velocity.
people's people.
Check your
All
velocity
right.
also before the event because there's some people that don't check their velocity due to the fact that last time they checked their velocity, what a lot of people fail to realize, change of weather can change your velocity. Just because you checked it today and it says, yo, I'm shooting at 260, I'm gonna leave it at 260. It does not mean it's gonna shoot at 260 tomorrow. The change of weather do change it. So please, everybody, please check your velocity at an everyday use. Like when you're using it, please check it. Yeah, I got an
Exactly.
all-topic question. I'm just trying to lead the other conversation. Not trying to
Hold,
lead it. We
hold,
can come
hold,
back to
hold,
it.
hold that thought 1 second. There's a comment that came in. I just wanted to comment on it really quick. I thought it was kind of funny. Lex
Okay.
Lou. There's always too much hate in Magfed. People love to hate. The cancel culture is real. Lex, no, the cancel culture is not real. It's just the way it is, my brother. Just the way it is. What were you going to say real quick, Billy?
Well, I wanted to ask both of you guys on a personal level, right? What is your five top pick players? Just to throw off a little topic, and just to throw some heat in the field real quick.
Wow, 5 players for what?
Your best players, like not on your team, like the five best players you've seen in the MagFed community. Top five.
That's hard, bro.
It's not
that's
hard.
that's
It's not
hard, bro.
hard.
Because
You
everybody's
don't want somebody to come back like, well, I'm not your top
no,
five.
no, 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 nothing like that, nothing like that. It's just that's hard because everybody goes out there and they play hard. Like if I come out and I say, well, my team, hands down, the validity of my answer, my reply would not be as valid because I'm showing favoritism to my team. But if I don't say my team, it's like now so, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it's hard because if I had to choose personally, me, Ghost, Rocket, Joker, definitely Joker, Dion gets in, and Rob Taz.
Okay, that's five. I like your odds.
Those would be my top 5.
I'm gonna have to agree with Ghost. For me, Ghost, me and him when we play, we're pretty synchronized. We listen to each other. We're pretty good in the field together. It has to be Sin, my teammate. Me and him when we snipe, work great together. Great spotter, great teammate. This individual, I didn't get his name, but if you're watching, you know who I'm talking about. It was the last MagFed meetup at Cousins. It was just you and me versus Mark and the other gentleman, and we worked perfectly in the field. We listened to each other, and we ended up winning the match. That gentleman, and then I must state, it would have to be Tom, another teammate of mine,
Oh
and
yeah,
when
definitely.
me and my girl me and my girl, when we go on the field and we work together, we work great together. So I must.
Excuse me.
So that would be my top 5.
Okay. I'm gonna look out for these 5 guys.
I'm gonna have to throw in an alternative as well. There's one more person. He and I are alike. We move the same in the field. Only thing is that he's a lot thinner than I am.
Okay.
Chuck Peters. Chuck Peters.
Chuck Pierce?
Chuck Peters.
Peters. Why that name sound familiar?
He's the one that won the MG 100, the MG 100 at Sleeper Cell. He posts a lot. He posts a lot. He's one of the league members for the UMFL. Okay. He and I, we a lot of the same training that we went through. He went through. I went through. But he moves the way I used to move, way back in the day. Just wanted to put that out there. Yeah, that's when I was about 145 pounds lighter. Oof. Let's see. Corey is chiming in. Yes, Corey, we were talking about Ish. Ish and the events that happened at 13 hours. But hopefully that should be done and over with. What about you, Billy, before we go to the announcements?
So my 5, I'm gonna hands down. I have to say Rocket is gonna be my top 1 because I played multiple games with Rocket, and that's my number 1 go-to guy. We sync perfectly fine together. I would say when me and him went to boning asses, we definitely killed you guys. We got you guys good. So, my second pick would be Snake Eyes. I don't know if y'all know him. He's from the Assassin Alliances as well. Snake Eyes Assassin. Dope dude. I physically watch him in a game while he's getting shot at, moving his body in motion so when the balls come, it could just roll off his shoulder. Who does that?
Apparently he does.
Right?
Mostly sleepwalk.
Then I'm gonna have to say my man's Brandon. That's my guy. The last 2 is gonna be a little hard because there's a lot of good players out there. I'm not gonna hold them, but I'm gonna have to give my number 4 to Taz. And in my head, I call him the Tasmanian Devil.
That's what
he's on that field with that MG or that dot. Then, sheesh, that boy's a problem. That's my guy. So if you listen in, just know you're my top 5 pick, my brother. And last but not least, just because he is my Goku to my Vegeta.
Oh my God.
Blackout will forever be in my top 5.
Oh my God, I can't believe you used that saying. Oh my God.
I had to. Only because, yo, bro, I didn't been on the field with him multiple occasions where he was on the other team, and it's like we would trade or we'd be both in a situation where we keep missing and we snap shooting at each other. Like, so it's like it's crazy. It's crazy.
All right, guys, real quick, we're coming to the end. Ed, do you want to plug in the event?
Yes, again, this Sunday. I hope to see all you guys out there. It will be our first Magfed meetup, Fury, and we will be there pretty early. The game won't start. I think we will have the whole time frame out sometime this week. Come out, try it out, see what it's about. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And if you have any feedback while in it, please don't be afraid to message me. It will be this Sunday at Cousins Paintball, New Jersey.
Okay, that was going to be my question.
I will have the link up on this cast as well. We will have a vendor. The vendor is actually watching right now. Corey Ellis is the vendor, the cook that we had over at Black Hawk Down. So hopefully he'll bring his bacon jam. Corey, if you're watching, Bring the bacon jam. That was amazing. And the Philly cheesesteaks with the bacon jam. Oh.
I like mac and cheese, so you know, just saying.
Billy, you have any events? You have any events? Any events that you want to plug in?
Me personally, the only event that I will probably possibility try to plug in is the event that I'm trying to host. I'm trying to host a private writing event, but I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of the feedback due to the fact who is the enemy. And I know we can't call them that because, you know, the enemy in World War II is obviously the bad guys, real bad guys. So I want to host a private writing event, but it's a little Call of Duty twist into it, a little mix of it. I really want to host this. I got a bunch of ideas that I got written down. I'm just afraid of the feedback, and I don't know where field I would like to do it at.
Did you have it set up? Like you have an idea? Because realistically, you could actually talk to us. We could work something out.
Well, I'll tell you what. After the podcast, after the cast, you guys link up. Only because I'm running out of time here. My timer is about to go off. So
real quick. One more thing, cousins. I'm trying to do a little small thing. Also, September 12th at Cousins in New York, Calverton. If you are interested, just show up. It's an open thing. It's not an event. It's literally we're just showing support for Cousins at New York. So come out, show some love, and it will be September 12th. You'll see me there. If you want to face me out there, come on. I don't mind it. It's gonna be definitely a great day that day, and I have a surprise for those who want to see something funny.
For those people who's trying to go to Cousins in Jersey, I'm gonna say bring a lot of tick repellent. I wanna mention that because a lot of people go there and they don't know what they're expecting. There's a few ticks there, and I went home last time I went there. I went home with 7 ticks on me, not including the ones I kicked off my body in mid game. So for those who is listening, please bring a lot of tick repellents because you could get very sick off that. So
yeah,
trying to look at
any field, any paintball field, you will get ticks. Definitely bring repellent.
I mean, I wouldn't say Matt's Outback.
I had 3. I never get ticks in all the other fields, and Matt's I got 3. I was like, what the fuck?
I never got one in Matt's Outback.
I gotten 3 at that field. It doesn't matter where you go. If you get it, you're gonna get it. Just always.
Yeah, that's a fact. Just anywhere you're in nature, you're going to get it. Because I go fishing a lot, and I definitely see ticks in a lot of places you would never expect to see them at.
All right, guys. With that being said, I want to thank you, Ed. Thank you, Billy, for being on the show tonight. Hopefully, this cast answered a lot of questions for the community in general. We could put this matter to bed, finally. Let sleeping dogs lie, you know? And get you guys on the field. Let's have some fun. Show the love, show the support, and let's back one another up.
And if you guys got me on Instagram, follow Magfed Billy as mf.billy_, you feel me? You can follow me. I'm also going to do a live tonight just to talk mad shit about Magfed. Let's get into it. Love, respect, everyone. Have your freedom, title, spirit. Let's get it.
Good night, guys.